Welcome, and thank you very much for joining our webinar, a tour of our cocoa processing plant. One small point before we start. We are going to record the webinar. First of all, we would like to make a short introduction. Sandro, would you like to start?
Yes, my name is Yersin. I'm working since 10 years for PRONATEC, first in the department of vanilla and spices, and then I joined the project, the processing plant, and right now, since November, I'm responsible for the cocoa value chain in PRONATEC.
Yes, but we can also add maybe that you have been very busy the last couple of years with this project, which is an important milestone for PRONATEC. My name is Sandro Marti. I'm head of the chocolate unit and of marketing. I'm also working for PRONATEC already for quite some time, almost 10 years. Because I'm a bit more familiar with English, with speaking English every day, I'm going to lead you through the presentation, but I would like to be honest with you. I'm a typical marketing man. As soon as you start to ask questions which go into depth, I'm very happy to have Simon with me. He knows much more about it because he was very much involved in the whole start of the project. During the seminar, the webinar, please feel free to write questions into the chat. Here with us is also Lorena, and she's going to tell us all of your questions so that we can answer them also in the process of the presentation. So here we go. We have been passionately committed for over 45 years to fair trade and eco-friendly sustainable products for the global food industry. For all these years, we have sourced cocoa, cane sugar, vanilla and spices directly from smallholder organizations in the country of origin. Here you can see the scope of our business. The green countries show the countries of origin. We mainly source cocoa, sugar, vanilla and spices from Latin America, Africa and Asia. The orange countries show our export markets. Our main customers, that was far too far, I don't know why. Our main customers are based in Europe, Northern America and Japan. Where more and more customers estimate organic and fair trade certified food. As you can see, organic and fair trade food is a truly global business. Let's look at our cocoa value chain more in detail. As mentioned, we source our cocoa beans directly from smallholder cooperatives in the countries of origin. From sourcing through fermentation, export and shipping, the first steps are completely in our hands. Up to now, we were dependent on third-party cocoa processing. Already for a long time, it has been our wish to being able to process the cocoa on our own. And because of our growth and the growing complexity with traceability and certifications, we realized that it could not work the same way forever. We started to think about what would it mean to have our own cocoa processing capacity? What kind of equipment would be needed and how much would it cost? It was a long way and we are very proud that from now on we can process the organic cocoa beans in our own factory. This is a big step for us, setting the last puzzle piece in our value chain. I dare to say that our value chain is pretty unique and guarantees the traceability of all cocoa products back to smallholders. Here you can see the building of our new factory in Beringen in the north of Switzerland, close to the German border. It takes about 30 minutes by car from our main offices in Winterthur. We often hear the question, why Switzerland? In our point of view, many aspects are in favor of Switzerland. One important aspect is the degree of automation of cocoa processing. We don't need a lot of staff, but the right staff. Availability of skilled employees is crucial for such a factory. We are also close to many of our main customers in Switzerland, Germany, Austria, France, and Italy. We have the possibility to ship the cocoa beans in an efficient and eco-friendly way on the Rhine to Basel. And we are very close to our head office in Winterthur and our supplier Bühler in Uzwil. As you can see, there are many points in favor of Switzerland. What are the key properties of our new plant in Switzerland? We process certified organic and fair trade cocoa beans into premium quality cocoa mass, cocoa butter, and cocoa powder. Out of conviction, we only process organic cocoa beans. But we also specialize in certification with higher standards, such as Naturland, Demeter, BioSwiss and Fairtrade Traceable, and prestigious multiple certifications. We have a precise batch separation which ensures 100% traceability. Our cocoa processing offers a high degree of flexibility and enables small series as well as large-scale production. And we can offer the processing of our customers' own cocoa beans, called toll processing or tolling. As you can imagine, this is a project which started a long time ago. We had to write a business case, find the right suppliers, and also find a way to finance such a big project. And of course, also all the preparations of the building and the installation of all the equipment took a lot of time. 350 tons of steel have been used for all the pedestals only. Sandro could tell you many stories about this long journey. We would like to give you a short glimpse into the installation, and we'll show you now a fast motion video which shows you the installation of the power grinding facility. Let's give us just a moment to switch. We make the following promises to our customers. 100% organic production, so there's no possibility of mixing organic with conventionally cultivated raw ingredients. Besides EU organic, we offer a wide range of certifications, often combined. PRONATEC value chain from cocoa farmers to semi-finished products creates transparency and secure supply. We have a strict batch separation in processing and storage, thanks to automated batch production, digital process control, and pickable pipelines. Please let us show you the strict batch separation more in detail. What does it mean when we say PRONATEC Swiss Cocoa Production is designed to be fully traceable with complete batch separation? We had programmed several interfaces from the plant control system to our ERP system. In the beginning, we scan each bag of beans. The system checks that only the right raw cocoa beans are poured into the plant, exactly what was planned and with the right certificates. In the whole process, the certifications are checked. And also before labeling and packing, the system checks again whether the semi-finished products in the tank match the ordered and planned certifications. Otherwise, the products cannot be packed and delivered. The programming of the plant control system was a major challenge for a plant manufacturer. Conventional productions are focused on efficiency and large volumes, not batch separation. But this also confirmed to us that it is very difficult to have full traceability under control on conventional production lines. To ensure a clean separation from previous batches, our pipes are cleared and cleaned using a so-called pick after each production run. We make further promises to our customers. The centerpiece of PRONATEC Swiss Cocoa Production is our ultra-modern cocoa processing plant, certified compliant with the FSSC 22000 standard. The whole production process is monitored digitally. Important parameters such as the fineness of the cocoa mass are regularly tested from the start of the production process and adjusted if necessary. Before delivery, product samples are taken to our in-house laboratory. There, our experts test the physical and sensory properties and the results of any external analysis. They only give approval to the goods if they satisfy our high quality standards. We also provide support for product development and innovation. We ensure optimal processing of every bean lot, also for toll processing. Tailor-made roasting profiles ensure an optimal flavor development. And we can offer various packagings and are flexible in delivering the products when needed. We have been running up our factory step by step. The first productions have been completed, and the first deliveries to clients are already taking place in May. At the end of May, we are going to implement the second shift. And at the end of this ramp-up time, our capacity will allow us to process roughly 14,000 tons of cocoa beans a year. Here you can see the layout of our new factory. There are different hygiene and heat zones to allow an efficient processing. Here you can see, hopefully you can see where my mouse shows. That's where the cocoa beans arrive in the factory. That's actually still a dirty zone. First, the cocoa beans are cleaned, then broken into cocoa nibs. The shells will be removed before the nibs are roasted. With the roasting, all the bacteria are killed, the nibs are now safe for food, and they enter the hygienic zone. After the roasting process, after the roasting process, the nibs are grinded to get cocoa mass. Roughly 1/3 of the cocoa mass is going to be delivered in blocks or in liquid form. For 2/3 of the cocoa mass, the path has not yet finished. We use it for producing cocoa butter and cocoa powder. The cocoa mass is pressed to squeeze out most of the cocoa butter. The cocoa butter is then filtered and deodorized. Also, the cocoa butter is either delivered in blocks or in liquid form. At the same time, we take the cocoa cakes from the press and grind them to cocoa powder. The finished cocoa powder is packed into 25 kilograms bags or big bags. We can store the semi-finished products in-house. And cocoa processing needs a lot of building services, such as compressed air, heat, and cooling. We also need the possibility to load the liquid cocoa mass or liquid cocoa butter onto trucks. Last but not least, there is a bit of administration involved. We are now going to look at the processing steps more in detail. In the beginning, we have to remove impurities, such as stones, sand, leaves, and metal objects from the cocoa beans. This can be reached with various mechanical processes and a magnet. The infrared pre-treatment system makes sure that the shell of the cocoa beans can be removed with ease, providing maximum yield of raw cocoa nibs. The winnower crushes the cocoa beans and separates shells from nibs using various sieves and strong air streams. At the end of the process, you get cocoa nibs, the base for cocoa mass, as well as cocoa shells. The cocoa shells can either be sold or used to produce biogas. The cocoa nibs still have a long way to go. Each time, 3.5 tons of cocoa beans are roasted at the same time. There are two different methods of roasting, whole bean or nibs roasting. At PRONATEC, we use nibs roasting technology. As you could hear before, that means that the beans are broken down into cocoa nibs first, and only then they are roasted. Nibs roasting offers the advantage of regulated, very gentle temperature control and maximum flexibility in defining the required roasting profile. With the perfect roasting curve, the flavor of the beans develops to the full. We also have the option to alkalize the nibs directly in the roaster, which is relevant to produce alkalized cocoa powder. Afterwards, the cocoa nibs are ground in two steps, pre-grinding and then fine grinding. With this process, we can reach cocoa mass with a fineness of only 0.2 wet seed residues above 75 micrometers. We have the possibility in this process to draw representative samples anytime to check the fineness. In our procedures, we have a check once every hour to make sure that this is always the same, that we always reach the same quality. If needed, we can repeat the grinding process to make sure to achieve the target fineness. What kind of benefits do we see in our way of producing cocoa mass? We have an effective process thanks to the pre-treatment with infrared and can reach an optimal yield. We are very flexible with our roasting. Carefully tailored roasting profiles ensure that the flavors are fully developed. We constantly verify the fineness and can repeat grinding if necessary. We have an optimized line for batch production. As mentioned before, what is also important that our tank storage facility for liquid cocoa mass gives us an extra long window of time during which the products can be analyzed in detail, both internally and by external laboratories before delivery. This way, we are sure to meet your specifications when the products leave the factory. We can offer flavor-packed single origin cocoa mass, always from one country, and usually from a single smallholder cooperative. Especially for our toll processing customer, we can also develop customized roasting profiles. As mentioned before, we can offer different degrees of fineness depending on what is best for particular areas of use. And we can offer either 25 kilogram blocks or liquid cocoa mass. The press is one of the centerpieces of our production. The forces acting on the butter press are so strong that we had to reinforce the floor and have produced a particularly stable platform. The process is as follows. First, we heat up the cocoa mass to a temperature of higher than 100 degrees centigrade. We are filling the press with the cocoa mass, then the pressing starts. We are collecting the cocoa butter and filter it with a cricket filter. At the same time, the leftover, actually the cocoa cakes, are breaking into small pieces. Then the next step is the deodorization. We are heating up the cocoa butter to higher than 160 degrees centigrade. The butter is sprayed into a tower, where with a combined impact of vacuum and high temperature, we can strip off the aromatic compounds and free fatty acids. After this process, we cool down the cocoa butter. What kind of benefits do we see in our way of producing cocoa butter? We use an up-to-date technology with heating the cocoa mass before pressing. We can test the content of fat in-house. We use a cricket filter to get a crystal clear butter, followed by gentle deodorization without additives. Our process leads to an optimal product property of our cocoa butter. And also here, as mentioned before, we have an optimized line for batch production. And again, same as with the cocoa mass, our tank storage facility gives us an extra long window of time for analyzing the product before delivery. What does optimal parameters of the cocoa butter mean? We can offer a high PCI value, good refractive index, and low FFA values, free fatty acids values. We can also either offer 25 kilogram blocks or liquid cocoa butter. Our cocoa butter is ideal for chocolate producers, but it is also increasingly used in cosmetics. Now we turn to the next step of powder production. The pieces of the cocoa cakes hit the corrugated plate in the middle. The finest particles are separated, the remaining pieces are grinded again. After all the pieces have turned into very fine particles, there is a controlled cooling process in the stabilization snake. The temperature is permanently controlled to prevent lumps and a gray haze. This process allows a perfect fat crystallization even with cocoa powder with a high fat content. We can now offer aromatic and homogeneous cocoa powder thanks to this process. We have this product either in 25 kilogram bags or 750 kilogram big bags. We can offer either natural or alkalized powder with a fat content of 10 to 12 or 20 to 22%. We can offer a regular powder or also powder with a low controlled cadmium value. This way, we always have the ideal powder for milk processing companies, the baked goods industry, chocolate makers, and ice cream producers. A couple of words about our internal lab. We can analyze various parameters inside, such as fat content, humidity, ECI, pH, fineness, and our panel can also test or check the flavor profile. For pesticides and herbicides, we use an external lab. Here you can see our broad range of certificates. As you can imagine, we are very familiar with audits, especially our certification team. Our main supplier for cocoa beans is our daughter company, Yersin, in the Dominican Republic. But we also source cocoa beans from Peru, Panama, Ecuador in Latin America, as well as Madagascar, Sierra Leone, and Togo in Africa. We are happy to support you when you're developing new products. Together we can create customized products for you, or we can plan careful processing of your own cocoa beans at our plant. In advance, we analyze the beans in detail to ensure that we process each batch of cocoa beans in the best possible way. If you wish, we can also produce a bespoke blend of beans, especially for you. If you would like to tell your end customers more about the world of smallholders, we are happy to supply personal stories and pictures from the country of origin. That will bring the origins of you and our products to life for your customers. As a small and agile company, we are very flexible and can offer short delivery times. From our site in northern Switzerland, transport routes to the whole of Central Europe are short. You will receive your product in a way that is convenient and simple for you. And with a wide range of organic and fair trade products made under the same roof, PRONATEC is the ideal partner to supply you with all kinds of raw ingredients quickly and easily. Maybe one important aspect about our new processing plant. PRONATEC AG stays your supplier. All the processes stay the same. PRONATEC is still the owner of the cocoa beans and all the semi-finished products. All our certificates, FSSC, organic, fair trade, stay the same. It is our daughter company, PRONATEC Production, which acts as a processor and charges PRONATEC AG processing fee. So PRONATEC Production AG is not in direct contact with you. So that's it about. Thank you very much for your attention, and we are very open to your questions now.